What's going on, everybody? Back at you with your man, Sam McIntyre, and your host. Crazy week one. Nutty as all get out, but a lot of sloppy football. I wanted to get on here today. I figured I'd bring up the two previous games, Thursday and Friday, and then kind of touch on some of the stuff I saw Sunday, and then give my division winners for the rest of the season. So, I got to tell you that Chief Ravens game Thursday night, I know it was a little bit ago, but craziness is all get out. That's why the NFL's king. Sloppy football, but it always comes down to that last play. My takeaways from it was I've seen Mahomes twice live, and he rips your heart out. And as a guy that's a Raiders fan, it's hard for me to fathom that he's in our division. But the Chiefs just are well run, and I know Raider fans get all mad at me when I say this. That's what you want your organization to be like. You want it to be stable and well run with continuity, same coaches, same staff, everything. And until the Raiders do that, that's going to be a long time from now. But I do think the Chiefs, and I heard this the other day, that to me, you had a shot last year. All these teams in the AFC had a shot to beat them, and they didn't. And I think there's a mentality that goes on where I think that they think they're going to win, and the Chiefs just know they're going to win. I think they're going to go back. As long as they got Mahomes and Andy Reid, they're fine. And I trust Brett Veach with that organization to draft well. And obviously, they've got great defense now. It reminds me of those Brady Patriot teams, early 2000s when Brady was winning his first two Super Bowls. On the flip side of that, I'll go to the Ravens. Again, they're going to be fine. I've kind of come around on Lamar. I never was sold on him when he came out of college. I thought he was a little bit at Tebow, won a Heisman, played an offense that was just gimmicky a little bit. I didn't think it would translate, and he's proved me wrong. Back-to-back MVPs, but very, very James Harden light. Obviously, he's better than James Harden. James Harden's a fucking afterthought. I'm so tired of him. And just his non-caringness to do anything is, can constantly not in and out of shape. Pathetic. I just can't even fathom how the hell some people just don't want to take care of their bodies when it's your temple, but besides the point. So I think the Ravens, listen, they're going to be fine, but Lamar, again, it's how much longer am I going to keep hearing, well, he doesn't have help, he doesn't have help. Yes, he does. He just can't make the throws. And this running around shit, it's not going to win you Super Bowls. You got to throw within the pocket. You can do all that running around and all that stuff, but the weather changes. You got to be able to see pre-snap, post, read the mic, put more on his plate. I love Lamar and everything that he brings. He's a great kid. He works his ass off. I love how every year he tries and gets better. But it's time. And I still think you can win with us. I just don't think you can win Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson. I don't. Maybe prove me wrong, but I don't know. I got to see more. And I'm already chalking up next week. Raiders travel to Baltimore. That's an L. They're got a lot of rest. They're gonna be pissed off and angry, and Chucky's coming out, and I'm ready to go. But I want to flip to the other game though. Packers-Eagles. That field the other night, I was talking to a buddy of mine. That field was oh God, it was awful. It was like on ice. For all the NFL, all the great things they've done to promote the marketing, and they are the number one reality TV show, and for a reason, that was right up there with one of the worst jobs they've ever done. I didn't get it. Jordan Love, man, watching him, and I know they didn't play a lot in the preseason, so I got to take it with a grain of salt. To me, listen, I still think Green Bay is going to be good, but I keep coming back to the same thing over and over. Their defense. How many more years you keep putting all these? I don't know if it's talent. I don't know. They just aren't in the right spot. Yesterday, I'm watching the Chargers, and it's crazy a year difference it makes. When it was the same guys for the Chargers last year. Bosa, Mack, all these guys. Derwin James was my favorite safeties in football. You had all these things, but yet they were bad. because they had the wrong coach coaching them. And, I just look around and I think Green Bay's still going to win games. But I didn't love that he got hurt. He's out a month. That's great, And, I watch the Eagles. And I kind of just think, Sirianni's just, I can't stand him. There's just certain guys I don't like to hate. Coaches and all that. But it's funny. We always talk about players pressure choking. How about these coaches? I mean, good hell. Nick Sirianni with his weird face on the sideline, screaming at fans. He's just such a douche. And, listen, he's had the benefit of having great offensive, the coordinators 2 years ago. Jonathan Gannon got the Cardinal job, and then Shane Steichen obviously is doing wonders with Indianapolis. I had to shout out to my Colts fans on here. You lost him. And Jalen Hurts, listen, I like Jalen a lot. And I would obviously, I would probably take him over Dak Prescott. That ain't even a discussion. But there's some quarterbacks when I watch them, the eye recognition's terrible. They don't read shit. It reminds me of Jameis Winston years ago. They had him on Gruden's QB camp. And, Jameis just stared down people. Stared down defensive backs and safeties. Didn't pump one way, think the other way. And I saw that the other night on those picks that Jalen threw. Now, listen, Philadelphia is so well run, and that offensive skill group is nasty. Smith, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Goddard the tight end, Barkley, that offensive line, they're going to win games. And I don't know what you do with Jalen Hurts going forward, but that was a great win. Ugly as hell. But I could see them matching up again in the playoffs. So that was a really good rematch. And the other thing, I'm trying to look at my cheat sheet here of things I wanted to talk about today. And it's great to have you guys in on a Monday. I'm going to go over my division winners. I didn't do this last week, but I'm going to go my predictions after week one. Obviously, just craziness going on in the league. So I'm going to go AFC, NFC. Leave your comments, drop them below if I'm nuts, crazy. Do what you guys want. So, AFC North, I got number one, I got the Ravens. I mentioned earlier, they're going to be good. Lamar's been, he's been healthy last couple of years, and we've been dinged up a couple of years ago. But he was healthy last year. Joe Burrow, I don't know. That they had a lot of drama in the offseason. I know the Ravens lost a lot. Lost Greg Roman, lost all their running backs. They made it to championship this year. I still trust their organization. They're well run. No issues. So, and then I got Bengals number two. There's one guy in this league that can play toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes. It's Josh Allen and Joe Burrow, Joe Shiesty. I got Cleveland 3. I know they got smacked yesterday, but you're without your two offensive linemen. I think at some point they're going to play Jameis Winston. I don't like either of those options for Cleveland because it's a really good football team. Kevin Stefanski, obviously, he's proven, shown, been there, done that with that organization to win. But it's just a chaotic organization. It's like the Raiders, but, worse. And then I got Pittsburgh 4. I just, come on, man. Can we get over this Mike Tomlin nonsense? It's time to move on. It's a divorce waiting to happen. You can't win in this league 18-12. Are you kidding me? You're struggling? You got all that talent on offense, and you can't get it done? How much more years are we going to hear? Well, we need an offensive line. You've had it for 6 years, Mike. It's time to go. And stop telling me we can't criticize them. Knock it off. Come on now. So that's my AFC North. Ravens, Bengals, Browns, Steelers. We'll see how that order pans out through the rest of the year. AFC East, I got Buffalo. Buffalo won. Josh Allen's a stud. I mean, he to me is like, I said this last year, he's Brett Favre with more mobility. Just wildly talented. His highs are the highest of highs, and when he's low, it's Brett Favre lows. It's bad. I did flip my order. I was going to go Dolphins 2, Jets 3, but I'm going to take the Jets. I know I call them the Ifers, but Aaron Rodgers comes back. You get a full season with him. I trust him over Tua. Aaron's played in cold weather. He can go in that. He can go anywhere and play. And the Jets got a better team. Better offensive line this year. You added a bunch of pieces. I know it's a kind of a mismatch of guys, but you got a good center in Joe Tittman, Fort Wayne. Shout out to 260. You got Tyron Smith. You have Morgan Moses. You got that Fashanu kid from Penn State. You got some players in there. And then, obviously, on the perimeter, Garrett Wilson, and then backfield, Breece Hall. You got some players there. Jets got good players everywhere. And then Dolphins, I put third. Listen, man, the Tyreek Hill thing yesterday, Jesus Christ. How much dumber can you be? I mean, good God, it's like the George Carlin line. How dumber than a second coat of paint? I mean, Jiminy Christmas. Before the game, and you're fighting with a cop, you're just dumb. There's get it guy and there's don't get it guy. He's a don't get it guy. And then I got the Patriots fourth. I don't want to take that win. That was a fluke win. You played, you played the Bengals with all that drama going on. I don't buy it. New England's still fourth. They get him a top 5 draft pick. Get some help for Drake May when he plays. AFC South, I'm still going with the Texans 1. They're a loaded football team. DeMeco Ryans is a rocket ship. I'm invested in the rocket ships. That guy's ascending. CJ Stroud's that dude. I know when he came out, I kind of was split. I didn't know who. I like CJ Stroud a lot. I'm coming out of college, but it's the Ohio State thing. I've mentioned that, play with a lot of NFL guys. Like, the NFL's not like that. You're going to, it's getting uncomfortable. I got Colts 2. Richardson looked really good yesterday. His talent is off the chains. I mean, he's one of the most physically freakish athletes at quarterback that I've ever seen. Josh Allen's in there. Dante Culpepper I throw in the ring. Josh Allen. That guy's a freak. And if he can ever get consistency, in that offense with Shane Steichen, it's going to be a lot of six-back offense with that. You saw it with Jalen Hurts a couple years ago in Philadelphia when they went on their way to the Super Bowl. I got Jaguars third. I really think this, man, that's a really good football team. Doug Peterson's a really good coach. So I got Jacksonville 3. I love the additions that they have. They got a really good football team, especially on the perimeter. Their defense got pass rushers everywhere. Their offensive line's okay, not great. But I love Brian Thomas Jr. coming out of LSU. I was a big fan of his. He was more the vertical threat. I think Neighbors was more the better all-around receiver. Brian Thomas Jr. was more the deep threat vertical guy. 9 routes, bang 8s, get the post. And then I got Titans fourth. That pass by Will Levis, I know I've been a fan of his. I can't defend that yesterday. I can't defend that. That was awful. I just, I'm so rooting for him. But that was bad. I can't unsee what I saw yesterday. Just pathetic show. And Tennessee put the foot off the gas. I feel like I was watching a Raider game a couple years ago. AFC West, my division. Chiefs are 1 until changing otherwise. They've won this division 9 years in a row. Never really had a competitor. But the second team I'm going to go with, and I know Chief fans think they're going to charger it and they're going to choke. I agree with you to a degree. This is different. This is Jim Harbaugh. He's a proven winner. Been there, done that. He takes these reclamation projects, churns them on overnight. I don't think they're going to be, dynamic enough on the perimeter to compete with the Chiefs. But they're going to muddy that up, make the game simple, and shorten it. I'm going to go with the Raiders 3. I know I should probably put them fourth. But that defense is going to keep them in games. I do think at some point they put in Aiden O'Connell in at quarterback. Listen, Minshew's fine, but those turnovers yesterday, and I'll get to the Raiders later down the road in a couple days, but you just can't do that against the Chargers. And Max Crosby, I love you. I call him the Triple M, maniacal Mad Max Crosby. That guy's a stud, animal, baller, great story, great kid. And then I got Broncos fourth. I just think rookie quarterback, we'll see. But I Denver's a year away, I think, and I don't know if Sean Payton can do it. He's turning into the John Gruden of this league. I mean, when was the last time he won a Super Bowl? 2009? I was in 7th grade. It's the results-oriented business. You haven't got it done lately. So that's my AFC. NFC, I'm going to go with Lions at 1. That was a great game last night. Great job for Detroit. They got outplayed. But that's a white-knuckle thrill ride kind of a game. I love what they bring, that grit, that fiery, chucky, edgy, pissed-off, tense look. They are just a bunch of bullies, badasses, ass kickers. I love it. For right now, again, Jordan Love got hurt, so for a month, I think Green Bay's still good enough at organization, at the key spots to put points on the board. We'll just see how Jeff Halfley and that defense can do. They got a long period, until next weekend, until Sunday, obviously. So they're going to get that defense right, I believe. And for a month, it's going to suck. It's going to be hard to move the ball, but they got enough playmakers, I think, with Matt LaFleur drawing up plays and all that. They'll get it right. I got Vikings third. I'm a big Sam Darnold guy. I love me, Sam. I love a little bit of Baker. Obviously, I've been told that's my doppelganger. I love Sammy. I love Sam Darnold. He looked good yesterday. I know it was the Giants. I'm not going to take too much stock. I don't want to buy into it too early, but I like what I saw yesterday from the Vikings. And then I got the Bears fourth. I mean, Caleb Williams, Jesus hell, dude. Come on, man. Painting his nails. Everybody's not a big deal. Yeah, it is. To me, it is. I'm in the normal, not in the freak show acts, okay? And missed too many throws. I heard this yesterday. He completed 58% of his passes last year 3 times in the Pac-12. Really? That was the guy? Come on, man. And I think he's got a lot to overcome in Chicago, that organization, too defensive-centric. Can we stop celebrating 1985 Bears? Pipe down, Ma. Go to bed, okay? That's over. Done with. And then the NFC East, I still got Eagles. Eagles won. I just think that team is too talented enough not to be bad. They'll get probably 10 wins and get in. We'll see how the season pans out. The Cowboys, they're the same old. I think they're going to get to do well in the regular season and choke in the playoffs like they always do. They're the choke boys, not the Cowboys. And there's a reason they haven't won an NFC Championship game since 95. It's been 30 years. So, and then I got Redskins third. Like what I saw from Jane Daniels yesterday and the stuff that I saw, it's going to be a transition. He's a great runner. We know that. They got players on the outside. Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry's a good player. And they got some stuff there I like. But that's going to be work in progress. And the Giants, I've already got my top 5 picks. They're in there. They're just a mess. And that's all I got to say. NFC South, I'm going to go with Tampa still. I know that Atlanta's a sexy pick and everybody's picking them. I got it. But my point is with Atlanta, Kirk Cousins, we've seen this movie before. And you're trying to mismatch all these people together. And I just don't know how that's going to work. And I trust Tampa more. They've been there, done that. They've been in the playoffs last 4 years. So they've got guys who won Super Bowls, obviously. So I'm going to go with Tampa 1. 2, I'll go with Atlanta. I know that, we'll see what happens. But they're a good enough football team, I think, offensively to put up points in that division. The third, I'm going to go with the Saints. Derek Carr looked really good yesterday. I know it's the Panthers. I don't want to freak out. But New Orleans, with this new offense that Clint Kubiak's running, Gary Kubiak's son, the Shanahan kind of esque offense, bootleg, run action game, deep plays over the top. They still got weapons there. Kamara, Thomas, that Shador guy, that 48 or 65 yarder down the middle. Great throw by Derek. So that's there. And Carolina, another top 5 pick. And I'm not sure if Bryce Young's playing. I don't even know if he's it. I mean, I gave him a pass last year because of how much crap they went through, and their owner's an idiot. That's a circus and a half. But I just don't think he sees the field. He's too small. He was small coming out of college. You can't fix that. And he's just lean. He's like a tin man. And he just looks, not ready. And then the last division I'm going to go with before I get off of here, I'm going to go NFC West. I got the Rams doing it. I think the Rams are stacked. They're young in a lot of spots. But when you got Matt Stafford, who's one of the best all-time talents, arm talent or talents I've ever seen, with that coach who's obviously won a Super Bowl and has some cachet, I'm going to take the Rams. That combination, and Cooper Kupp last night, Jesus, he was uncoverable. Good hell, look at Jerry Rice out there. And that's without Puka Nacua when they get him back. So this offense is loaded. Kyron Williams is a great back. Their offensive line will be better. It's not going to be makeshift like it was last night. And then the 49ers, listen, I could bang on Kyle Shanahan all day. This roster's still really good. It's an old roster, long in the tooth. A lot of guys would tread out some of those tires, but you still can feel pretty good about that. But you got to close the deal. Now, you got to win the Super Bowl now. This is Super Bowl plus year for them. They have to do it. Trent Williams is getting older. Kittle's been banged up. He's a physical player. Debo. So you got to see what that's going to do. Seattle, I got third. They got a lot of talent. But I said this the other day. Reminds me a lot of of that Tampa team before they got Tom Brady. They got the corners. They got the receivers. They got the three-headed monster. They have decent offensive line. Just get a quarterback, distribute the ball. He's not going to be asked to do a lot of shit. Just get the ball to your playmakers. Be a point guard out there. And then you'll be good to go. In Arizona, they're a fun team to watch, but they're really talent deprived. Kyler Murray, I admire the talent that this kid has, but he reminds me a lot of Caleb Williams. A lot of distractions, a lot of nonsense that's not football related, and I'm not into that. You playing the video games too much, but I still remarkable talent. And listen, they're going to get Marvin Harrison the ball, a.k.a. Maserati Marv. They'll get him the ball, okay? Kyler missed him yesterday, but that's what happens when you're 5'10 and you can't see over linemen that are 6'5", okay? So that's all I wanted to do today. You guys can leave comments below. I greatly appreciate it. And we'll be back with an episode tomorrow, giving my recaps and stuff on what's going on in the NFL. So hope you guys have a great day. Leave comments. And let your friends know, share it, subscribe, and do all that. That'd be greatly appreciated. Have a great day.